Hello, Inman families. I'm Gena Wenger. I'm the school counselor here.
And I'm Julie Karlson, Inman's behavior coach.
In our roles, we focus on building social and emotional health with an emphasis on self-regulation, communication, and problem-solving skills.
Today, we're introducing the Take 5 area to our students as part of our system of support. We would also like to share that with you. A Take 5 area is a designated area in the classroom where students are encouraged to self-regulate, communicate with their teacher, and problem solve.
Please take time today to watch our lessons so that you can become very familiar with our practices. Thank you so much. So we're going to start with learning a little bit more about your brain today.
Okay, so I'd like everyone to stand up, push your chair in, and stand behind your chair, please. Thank you. Awesome job. Okay, so we're going to imagine that this is our brain here. So I want you to put your hand up in the air, put your thumb in, and fold your fingers over it. Okay, imagine this is your brain. Your brain is made up of different parts that all function together and work together. But we're going to focus on two of those parts today to help us understand our brain a little bit better. Okay, so this part of our brain, we call this part the thinking part, the thinking brain. And that is located right here at the front of your, the front of your brain, okay? There's a fancy term for it, so you can remember it as the thinking brain, or scientifically, it's called the prefrontal cortex. Can you say that with me? Prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is where you do a lot of your thinking, a lot of your organizational skills, a lot of planning out what you're going to do next. So you're using that part of your brain to kind of think about what it is I need to do to be successful here at school. And that, when we're in our thinking brain or our prefrontal cortex, we are at our best for learning. That's where we want our students to be, okay? But sometimes things happen and it might change, and we might have an emotional reaction. So I'll give you a quick example. Driving to work today, I'm listening to music that I really like. I'm looking forward to seeing students and their smiling faces on day 2 of school, and I'm just really relaxed and feeling good on my way to work. But all of a sudden, somebody pulls out in front of me, and I have to slam on my brakes very quickly. My emotions have changed. I am no longer in my thinking brain. I have flipped my lid, and now I'm in my emotions brain. This part of the brain is a little piece of the brain. It's got a fancy word. You ready for it? Amygdala. Can you say that? Amygdala. When I'm in the amygdala, I'm reacting to something, okay? And my emotions are strong. What kind of emotions do you think I was feeling at that time? Yes.
You were feeling frustrated.
Frustrated is a good word. What else? Yes. Annoyed.
Probably really, really, really scared.
Really scared. Yes, really scared. My heart was racing. My head's kind of swirling. And I have to kind of calm myself because I still have to go to work, right? I still have smiling faces that I want to see. But I need to be in a state of mind where I can drive to work. So now I have to self-regulate to go from my emotions brain back to my thinking brain, okay? So that's what we're going to talk about today. How do we go from here to here? And what I want you all to understand is all of us experience emotions. There are over 400 people in this building, and we will all experience different emotions throughout the day. And sometimes we need to recognize that and take care of ourselves, okay? So that's what Miss Wenger and I are going to talk about next. So go ahead and have a seat. Thank you.
Great job, boys and girls. And so in order to do that, you really have to be mindful of how you're feeling. So let's look into what mindfulness means. What is mindfulness? Well, it is what allows you to help yourself calm down. And this, in turn, calms that amygdala, and so it allows for the information to flow to the prefrontal cortex That part of the brain that helps you make good choices. Making good choices out of emotions sometimes just can't happen, and you have to calm yourself so that you can make choices from your thinking brain. When we're calm, we more easily be mindful of our choices. Now, feelings, like Ms. Karlson said, feelings are real. We all feel them. No feeling or emotion that you have had is wrong. But it is important to learn how to deal with that emotion in a healthy way. So it's important that we recognize what we're feeling and how to handle that feeling, how to create some calmness within us to get ourselves feeling like we are ready to learn here at Inman. So there are steps to do that. Of course, a lot of times you just need to stop and you need to recognize and you need to name that emotion. Once you're able to name that emotion, then you're able to take steps to calming yourself. Sometimes those steps might be to deep breathe. Sometimes you just need to do some counting. How many times have you told yourself, gosh, I just need to count to 10? Sometimes it's as simple as just using positive self-talk. Boys and girls, there's tons of strategies, and you just have to find one that works for you. But the one we're going to focus on today is the Take 5 area. And Ms. Karlson is really going to teach you today how to use it and how to use it correctly.
Okay. Every classroom at this school has a Take 5 area. Have you guys talked about the Take 5 area yet?
Yes.
Okay, show me in your classroom where the Take 5 area is located. Okay, very good. Every classroom in the building, whether you're in art, music, library, your classroom, your switch class, will have an area that looks very similar to that. It's going to have a rocking chair. It's going to have a gray basket with fidgets, and then some posters that will help you, give you some strategies and ideas of things that you can do to self-regulate. Okay? So the rocking chair, think about the nice movement, calming movement that you can get from the rocking chair. Okay? So when you're using the Take 5 area, that is a time to focus on yourself. If you recognize that you're feeling a little unfocused, you might be feeling frustrated, something's going on, and you just need to take a few minutes to step away from the rest of the class, all you need to do is ask your teacher, Mrs. Edwards, can I take a break? She's going to allow you to use that Take 5 area. Okay, Haley, will you be my helper for a minute? Will you kind of model it for me? Okay, so Haley has asked me if she can take a break. Yes, Haley, go ahead and use the Take 5 area. She's going to go back and find that rocking chair, and in the basket, Haley, will you see if you can find the sand timer? It's a 5-minute sand timer. So she's just going to flip that over. And the reason I encourage you to do that is sometimes it's hard to monitor time. So that's just an easy way, because the purpose of it is not to just go hang out and miss everything going on in class. The purpose is to say, I need to step away and take some time for me. And then she can sit down and use some of the fidgets or use the breathing thing. Any of those things. Go ahead and find something interesting there, Haley, for us. Okay, a breathing ball. So that's a great one to use to slow your breathing down. You can really do it nice and slow and breathe with it. So that's kind of one of the ways that you can use that. Thank you, Haley. You did a nice job. So if you need to take 5, your focus is on you. Sometimes your teacher might recognize it before you do, and that's okay too. So this time, your teacher might come over. Kendall, can I use you? Okay. And maybe I notice that Kendall his head's down. Maybe he's feeling, and I'm just making this up, okay, but maybe he's feeling a little frustrated with his math. And so I say, hey, Kendall, why don't you go ahead and take a break, and then I'll come back in 5 minutes and I'll talk with you, okay? So Kendall would go back, but instead of just coming back to his seat, Miss Edwards or whoever the teacher is going to connect with him and check on him. Make sure everything's okay, because we care about you and we want to know what's going on. So That's 2 ways that the Take 5 area can be used, okay? And I want you to know that that space is given to calm and focus your body and your brain. There are 2 natural things that I want you to remember that are really important if you use that area. The first one, we do all the time, but we never think about it. Anybody know what that is? What do you think, Colin? Breathing, yes. Normally, we don't think about our breathing. It's involuntary. It just happens. But if we are needing to regulate, we want to focus our breathing and slow it down. Remember when I said my heart was racing this morning when that car pulled out in front of me? By slowing my breathing down, I can relax my body. So that's one of the things we're going to practice today. And there are some breathing boards back there that can help you with that. The crazy 8 or the lazy 8 breathing and the 6 sides of breathing are 2 good strategies for that. Okay? So in just a minute, we're going to practice. The other one also is really important. Haley, can I borrow this from you? Thank you for just volunteering so much. Okay? Haley's got her cup with her. Okay, drinking water throughout the day is really important, but if you're regulating, it's even more important. It helps to regulate your brain. Your brain needs to stay hydrated. So another strategy is to get a drink of water and focus on your breathing. Okay, those fidgets can be distracting and they can also be helpful, but those aren't the most important things. The most important thing is focusing on you and your body. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at a strategy. We're going to watch a video, and I want you, as it goes through, I want you to practice with the video, okay? But we'll take a look at this jar and think about this as your brain, okay? What do you see happening? And you don't have to raise your hand. Just tell me some words that you see happening with this jar right now. Swirling, spinning. Shout them out. Spinning, swirling. Can you think of anything else?
It's sitting still.
Rotating. Sparkling.
It's blue.
Yes. So sometimes our brain feels this way. Everything's swirling around inside it, and that's our cue that we need to regulate.